we spent about 3 years in Paris. And unfortunately, at that time, the owner wanted to take back his studio, and we didn't know where to move. Helen was pregnant, and we were really looking for an answer. And I said to Helen, look, I don't know France very well, but I've heard of a place, it's called Touraine. It's in the Loire country, and I would love to take a drive over there and look at the place, because some wonderful artists like Max Ernst, Calder, had moved there and been able to create there, so if they can, certainly I could. And we moved to Touraine. Sometime later in Touraine, I was painting, and I painted a painting called The Seed Thrower. Well, The Seed Thrower was inspired because I had never seen such scenes as I could experience there. It was fantastic. It was springtime, and you would see a man in a big hat walking through the field near the place where we were renting, and he had a cloth hung around his shoulders, and he would throw the seeds out into the field, and I just couldn't believe it. It was like going back to another time. It was fantastic. And of course I decided to paint it, and I did, and then the painting was exposed in the Chateau of Tours, and it was shortly after bought by a Parisian art collector called Solange Hardy. She came from a well-known photographer family in Paris, and she collected the Seed Thrower. She had it brought right away to her Parisian apartment, and we met on the Place de la Concorde, and we at that time went out and we celebrated. First of all, we had a big, great meal because it was quite cold living in Touraine. And then we went each one to buy a big sweater to stay warm in the winter in Touraine. And with the rest I paid off my car. But it was so unbelievable that I could actually paint a picture and make my living like this. Was a great experience for me at that time. And well, we also met very interesting people. We met finally the Hardy family, and Monsieur and Madame Poteau, who were living in Wim, in the ex-house of Max Ernst and Dorothea Tanning. And she invited us there one evening to show my court-métrage that I had done in California. And we were showing them actually in the atelier of where Max Ernst used to paint in Touraine. That made me very happy. And in the same room was a wonderful mobile of Calder, and several drawings of Dorothea Tanning. And I know Mr. Poteau was kind as to give me a brush of Max Ernst. You could see it's broken at the end, and it had all the little colors on it, and it came from doing the grattage. Well, those were wonderful memories of that time. And evidently we also met the Calder family, and Aubélouette Breton, the daughter of André Breton, who received us very kindly, and was quite an experience to visit her house. What I remember of her house is that there were little objects and sculptures and paintings from the floor to the roof, and you didn't really know what was the floor or the roof. It was completely disorientating, but it was well done, and was a great artistical environment to visit.